What's going on, guys? It's Brian here, just going to give you a Labrynth deck profile that I got first place with at Locals, and I did take this to LA Regionals and got my invite with. Also with a 7-3 record. Sadly, we didn't top that, but we still got our invite, and I felt like the deck performed pretty well. So let's just get into it, and shout outs to David for the Nib token of Makima, which is coming in clutch. Okay, so to start off, we have the 3 Ariana as our normal summon, pretty standard. And this is a furniture build, so we are playing, we are maxed out on the actual furniture names other than Ku Clock. If you know anything about or seen my previous profiles, just that, not really crazy on Ku Clock, just because I feel like the deck is consistent enough, and you can, I get the idea of you can pop off on your opponent's turn, but I mean, it doesn't solve the issue of just them having an Ash or something to play through it anyway, so I just don't like the idea of minusing too much off Ku Clock in the first turn going second. I'd rather draw any other hand trap. Then for the level 8s, we just play 2 Lady and 1 Lovely. And then for the monster techs, I'm actually maining the Keldo Medora this time around, just because of Rise Heart's banned. Yeah, these cards are really strong. Basically, whenever ideally you want these with the furniture and you can pitch them, it kind of gives you another layer of protection against Bystials and stuff like that, and particularly helps against your somewhat weaker matchups Brave Alliance strategies like Tier, as an example. Basically, if you see this versus Tier, it's almost guaranteed that you're gonna win. Worst case scenario, you shuffle your own big welcomes that you maybe milled too many, so they always have an application. And then for the hand traps, we are not playing that many. We're on 9. So we're on the 3 Ash, 3 Imperm, 3 Nib. We do the Nib combo with discarding a hand trap to basically clear the whole board, and no one gets a token and no one gets Nibiru, just because it tries to resolve as much as possible. So we do like that, and then Nib and just Imperm together are really strong, since you can negate an Omni negate monster that would normally play around this. So yeah, that's everything here is pretty good. Of course, you need Ash for the Mirror and Branded Fusion and such, but overall I think Ash is pretty good right now to stop a lot of decks. And then for our spells, we just have these 5, the 3 Pots, and then the 1 Labrynth, and 1 Called By. You need Called By mainly for Shifter and Ash for when that happens, and plus this going back to Keldo Medora, the deck kind of lacks grave interruption type or grave type interruption, so you definitely want Call by the Grave for that. And of course you can hit Ghost Spell and stuff, so this is really strong going first. Not the best going second, but it's an easy side out when you're going second. Labrynth is pretty good, especially because of the potential mirror matches you might face, and anything that's going to grind, Labrynth usually gets you there. Especially, I've been using the Effecta Reborn Lovelies, because sometimes you do open Lovely as a brick and then you pitch it with a furniture, but when you draw Labrynth with Lovely and a furniture, it doesn't seem bad at all. It's actually really nice just being able to Reborn her. And of course we're playing Extrap over the Prosperity, just for the sake of we want to go +1, and it's a better Ash bait than Prosperity. So when people Ash that usually means your welcomes are going to resolve unless they open 2 Ash. So going to the welcomes, we just have the 3 and 2. We don't really miss playing 3 in this deck, just because it's pretty easy to access the engine with the furnitures. In grind games, this amount does get affected in the grind game against Tier or something, just because they're gonna mill your traps, but in a realistic scenario where that's not gonna happen 100% of the time, you don't need 3. It doesn't really do that much on its own, so it's not worth playing 3. And then for our tech trap, we're just playing 2 strike. It would be cool to fit the third one, but I just don't have room for it. It would technically be the Call by the Grave. So just to have variety between the two, I like the 2 strike, 2 stop Ash and Bell, and you know, you can just drop like an extra deck summon, like against Unchained or something. You can stop like Yama, which is pretty strong, just so they don't have access to that, or basically anything. Even like going second, it's not bad against a lot of matchups. We're not playing any floodgates, so instead I'm opting to play like a good toolkit of normal traps, which I really like, and it's pretty consistent. We have Cannon, Terrors, Deep Barrier, and Ice Dragon's Prison. This is mainly for Dragon Link, the Mirror, and Unchained. That's the matchups where it's most strong. D Barrier, you could argue, could be in the side deck. However, this is just a win condition against Purely. You need it for when you're going second against them too, because there's lines that you can do where, yeah, you can basically stop them from making Noir from just using your furnitures to interrupt their spells when they use Baby Noir to try to set the trap. So they're basically just going to sit on that with My Friend Purely and Stray Purely Street. So for some reason, people get really caught off guard when you're going second, and they still see this in the deck because when they have all those resources and you stop them from summoning Noir, but you don't necessarily want to out the Baby Noir, you can set up D-Barrier on the draw phase of your opponent's turn once they pass priority to you, and you can just D-Barrier them, and that basically shuts them down for 2 turns, so you basically win the whole match. Just from the first 2 turns, even after going second. And that would just require basically the big welcomes setup with a lady. So as long as they don't interrupt the lady, you're basically just gonna win. Terrors, just because it's generic, it's starting to become a little bit worse just because of Unchained being more represented, but it's still pretty solid card for outing like field spells and stuff like that. And then Cannon's pretty much good against everything. Might even considering upping this to 2 and just dropping the Terrors, but we'll see. So that's it for the main. That's 40. I used to play Gamma Driver, but it's not that great right now just because of Unchained and Tier being pretty good. So for the extra deck, we have 1 Lingering Bow. This is for Ibly in case it comes up. Yeah, it's really strong against like the Rescue Ace matchup when they Ibly lock you because it's gonna trade an interruption on its own. And that matchup isn't that bad in the first place, so it just makes it even kind of like easier to win. But yeah, it is mandatory to play, and sometimes you have Extrav and they Ibly you. I personally don't take the risk, so yeah, up to you how you want to play that out. And then we have the most important card in the deck, 3 Muckracker. Yeah, just bring back your lovelies after linking away, or if it's in the graveyard with the furniture, you can just reborn it and then start like setting your traps. And this is a really good card to help you when you're trying to out like a Dragoon or something in the Brandon matchup, just because in the sense that you're still going to want to bait them out with some type of trap, and then you can use like D-Barrier, Drama Cannon to set it, or just to bait them out, and then you can reborn Lovely and kind of just like keep looping D-Barrier. That's how you bait them out. And then at the end, how this would help in particular is like when you have your lady and you D-Barrier them, the Dragoon gets reset to 3000. So you just attack with lady, and you attack the Dragoon with lady, and then they're gonna crash, and then you can just send this instead. So pretty much just keeps your board presence up. So basically whenever I out a Dragoon, like this is always on the field. So, and then for our other utility rank 2 or link 2s, we have Azalea and the Dark Charmer. You could probably play something else for Azalea now. This is mainly for like when Arise Heart was around. You can go normal Ariana, search Lady, Special Lady, and then make this. But this basically just works for everything in the sense that if you don't want to waste a card out of your hand to make like a Nightmare Package monster like a Phoenix or Cerberus, so that's pretty good. And if for some reason you have 3 spells engraved, you know, it could just stay on board. And then Dark, you know, just to extend and get Magna Muds and stuff like that from the grave was pretty nice, or just you know, there's a lot of pretty strong dark monsters right now, so just having, or just removing access to or from your opponent, like those dark monsters and graves, is pretty nice, and just using them as interruptions. And then we have the Nightmare package. We play one of each. Kind of feel like you need to play these two in particular, and you don't really need to play this too much. But yeah, they're all very nice, and with furnitures, they're pretty easy to summon. And then Link 5 just for Noir and Arrival and stuff like that. You do have Drama Cannon, but this is the backup in the extra deck if you can't get access to that for whatever reason. For the Xyz, we do have a Zeus package. This is pretty good against Unchained if you can establish it, because it prevents destruction and it sends a card on the field to grave. And then Zeus, of course, is pretty good against like everything. When Age of Overlord drops, probably going to play multiple of that Typhon dude, because he's really strong in this deck, because he's a fiend. And then the last three are the Synchros. I would play another Chaos Angel if I had one, but I only have two. So instead, Psychic End's pretty good. You just normal Ash with a Lovely or a Lady, so it's pretty easy to bring out as long as you're not Fiend locked from Welcome Labrynth. And for the side deck, I play these spells, these spell and trap removal and monster removal in form of Lightning Storm and Duster. Duster is just probably the most ignorant card in the game. It just is always live. You can side it against like Branded and stuff and just hit all the super polys, which you're basically losing to. You don't really lose to like anything else. Even if they Jinzo lock you, you can just normal summon Ariana, summon Lady, either Azalea pop it or go into Muckracker. So you're literally just losing to like random back row that are, you know, like spell speed 4 or just Floodgate S cards. So that's nice. Lightning Storm, you can use it against Unchained. Like, yeah, they can reborn something with Yama on Destruction, but you just really want to get rid of that Xyz. So that's another application, and you can use this against like Dragon Link and stuff. Both of these you can use against Dragon Link, so that's nice. But yeah, these cards are really strong. Probably wouldn't change them right now. For other board break S cards, I'm playing Lava Golem, just because I can't fit it in, but it might change based on like other cards in my side deck that I might edit. But yeah, you need this against like combo decks. You can use it against Unchained, and you can use it against I mean, yeah, just overall pretty good against like rogue matchup stuff that just end on 2 monsters, so it's pretty nice. Just make sure that you either get rid of it against Unchained so they don't bring back the blue level 6 from the grave, because this is a fiend. And then we're playing some more cards just to beat Unchained. We have Bestials, and also you can use this against Tyr. We're not playing Magnema just because probably going to die by the time that we resolve Magnema when we're playing Unchained. So yeah, this is really hard for them to out. There is ways of playing around it preemptively, but I feel like then that's just gonna straight up lose to Nibiru. So they either have to play around this or Nibiru, so I'd rather give them the choice of what they want to do. And yeah, against Tyr it's pretty good too. And since we are always playing against Tyr, we need a little bit something else, and you can side this against the Mirror as well. For just pretty much a lot of matchups actually. This has a lot of crossover, but yeah. DD Crow is pretty nice. This is probably like the most flexible spot. So if you wanted to play 3 Lava Golem, you could probably cut one and play something else. And then probably like the best card in the side is the Lord. You can use it to, a lot of people are on like Thrust package right now to Harpies and Lightning Storm. No, not too many people are on Cosmic. They're all on a lot of board break S cards. So this is just really nasty when you have it in your opening hand, and it protects all sets on the field. So if you're playing against Unchained, they can't like pop their own stuff. So you're pretty much taking several lines of play out of their deck, and then they're pretty much gonna have to rely like on normal summon Tour Guide. So as soon as you use like a standard big welcome pop interaction, on Tour Guide or whatever, like if you really want Phoenix Rhino, but I would definitely pop Tour Guide. That's pretty much a game on its own. So, and then yeah, it's just nice to set anything from your deck, and you can just like go DK on the next turn with this. Just try not to play into talents too much. Like I try to use the effect to summon and set like on the very last card, or sometimes I don't even use it at all, and just let it stay in my hand just so I can keep protecting to really punish Unchained players. So yeah, just be wary of like the timing of it. And then the other two going first cards are Full Force and Eradicator. Eradicator mainly comes in for like the, I notice it just mainly works in the fusion matchups, like Branded Chimera and all that, and Branded. Maybe in the mirror, yeah, sometimes if you can get to it, sure. But it is a little tough getting into the mirror, just because they're definitely going to interrupt Lady on the field, so pretty hard to get to this in the mirror, despite like the how easy it is normally in other matchups. So yeah, that's good, pretty mandatory, and you can use it against Flu too, but I would rather probably use this one, but if you can get both, that's really nice. So Full Force you can use against Flu, Vanquish Soul. You could even use it against Unchained, because everything I think is 1500 or less other than like one monster, and then they only get effects when they're destroyed on the field. They don't really get effects when they're destroyed from the hand. The only one that's going to get an effect is the red dog. Shavara, I think is the name. So if you're playing against Unchained, I would probably just use this and this. You could call spells, but this is definitely the better hit, because on top of that, you basically lose nothing. You're just losing an Ariana, whereas this, you're losing like a big level 8. But yeah, that was the deck, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'd say consistency wise, it's pretty good. I don't really have any issues bricking, surprisingly, with this build. So the deck might change a little bit when Age of Overlord drops. I'm not sure how many Butler I want to play. I feel like it's not that crazy, so I'll probably play like 1 or 2 for now. But I'm definitely gonna test it moving forward. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.